It is Wednesday, the 19th of March, 2025. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. We're continuing our Irish week by talking about an artist called Mick Flannery. Now, Mick Flannery is from County Cork, and he's one of those people who I've known about for a while. My sister listened to his music, but I didn't really know him that well. And then I just like a few songs of his I would occasionally hear and just really like. I don't remember what eventually got me to listen to him. I think I just it was when I got it, I was using like a Discman all the time, and I was just like, my dad had just sorted all the CDs on the shelf, so I was just picking random CDs off and listening to them because I hadn't done that yet. And I listened to like a few Mick Flannery albums, and they were really good. The song we're talking about today is from his album Red to Blue from 2012, and it's called Boston. This is definitely my favorite Mick Flannery song. I think it's like something of a fan favorite as well. I have seen him perform it live because he supported Elbow one time when we saw them. No shock there, I know. It's just a very sweet song. I like it a lot. So let's go listen to it now and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. That was Boston by Mick Flannery. I love that song. It's just so nice and sweet, you know. And like, Mick Flannery's music can be a lot more rocky than that, I guess. But it's a nice slow song. I love the strings in it. I love the piano. He's also very consistent. There's a performance of the song on Other Voices, which I'll link below. And it sounds like practically identical vocally to the studio recording, which is interesting to me. But anyway, the song seems to be about like just a happy relationship. It's a very sweet love song. Just before I started recording, I watched a video of Mick Flannery talking about this song to an audience at a gig last year, and he told this story about how at one point he lived in a married couple's basement. With their knowledge, it wasn't some weird thing. They let him stay there because he didn't have anywhere else to stay. And when he wrote this song and showed it to his sister, she thought that he wrote it in an attempt to woo the woman. And he said, no, it's obviously from the husband's perspective. And I can't tell how much of that was sincere and how much of him that was him joking. But it's interesting backstory anyway. But let's just go through the lyrics here. 2010 in Boston town, the leaves are golden brown. We take the kids to town to see the fair. Big wheel is turning round. Hear that homely sound. We're walking through the crowd in the evening air. See our boy hold his sister near until they're in the clear. You whisper in my ear, that one's going to heaven. So 2010 in Boston town immediately places the song in a time and place. Love that. And considering this album came out in 2012, it's relatively recent, you know, he probably wrote it around that time, you know. The leaves are golden brown, so that tells you it's autumnal. It's probably, it might be intentional. The phrase golden brown, I mean, that is just a color, but it will always make me think of Golden Brown by the Stranglers, as I'm sure it does for a lot of people. And that may have been an intentional reference by Mick Flannery. But like, that song is about heroin, and I don't think he was like referencing heroin in any way. I think he was just using familiar phrasing, you know what I mean? We take the kids to town to see the fair. So there's like a big fair in town. It always makes me specifically think of the Galway Christmas market where there's a big Ferris wheel. It's always what this makes me think of, no matter what, because that's, I mean, the place where I've been on a Ferris wheel, really. Big wheel is turning round, hear that homely sound. We're walking through the crowd in the evening air. I mean, just these lovely, soft images of walking through a fair and going on a Ferris wheel with your partner and kids, you know. See our boy hold his sister near until they're in the clear. You whisper in my ear, that one's going to heaven. That bit is very sweet. It's, you know, the male child holding the female child close until they're in the clear. It makes me think like maybe they're going to be like crossing a street and like the boy stopped the girl from getting hit by a car or something, and then she whispers, you whisper in my ear, that one's going to heaven. Like, you know, we're raising our boy right, he did the right thing in saving her, sort of thing. Just a very sweet little moment. And then the chorus is, you've no idea, do you, what I'll do for you? To have so much to lose is the only feeling. And as with any chorus, it ties the whole song together. You've no idea, do you, what I'll do for you? You don't understand the depths of my love. I would do anything for you. To have so much to lose is the only feeling. Love is a big commitment, and it's a big risk, because the more you love someone, the more it's going to hurt when they're gone. And so he's saying to have so much to lose is the only feeling. He's like, the risk is the thing that's part of it. You know, it's the only feeling. I ran around my time. I stood in every line. I couldn't stop my mind from dreaming of you. And when I laid eyes on you, I knew that race was through. And when I spoke to you, I told you so. You said, I think that you're a fool. And I said, I know you do. but I'd run away with you if you ask me nicely. I love that bit so much. I think that's what like confirmed or cemented my love for this song, really. I ran around my time, I stood in every line, I couldn't stop my mind from dreaming of you. Makes me think of like missing someone when they're away, but I feel like he's talking about like, not foreshadowing, but like before they were together, he was imagining his perfect woman and it was her, you know what I mean? And when I laid eyes on you, I knew that race was through, and when I spoke to you, I told you so. Like he's saying, you know, I fell in love with you at first sight, and when I spoke to you, I knew that you were the one, you know what I mean? And then you said, I think that you're a fool, and I said, I know you do, which is such a loving couple response, you know? He's saying how he fell in love with her at first sight, and she calls him a fool, and he's like, yeah, I am, but I'd run away with you if you asked me nicely. He's like, I may be a fool in love, but I would do anything for you. And then it goes back into the chorus of, you've no idea, do you, what I'll do for you, to have so much to lose is the only feeling. It's just such a sweet thing. And then the final bit here, the like outro, is 2050 Boston town, the sun is sitting down, it's the only feeling now. There's a lot of ways that could be interpreted, but I feel like it's saying like, in the future, our sun will come back here and remember this. Does that make sense? Now, I originally heard it as the sun, S-U-N, is sitting down, as in the sun is set, but I don't know what it's supposed to imply there, but I think it's supposed to be like the sun remembering all of this, you know? It's the only feeling now, like that nostalgia. Just a really sweet, pleasant love song from a lovely man from Cork. And that's pretty much going to be it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below, tell me what you think. Tell other people about this show. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you tomorrow. He was imagining his perfect woman, and it was him. And calling someone an idiot and being like, yeah, I know. Yeah, but he's our dork. I say I'll move a mountain, and I'll move a mountain if he wants it out of the way. Crazy, he calls me. Sure, I'm crazy. Crazy in love, I'd say.